Hi, this is a Bible review of the New Oxford Annotated 2nd Edition Revised Standard Version Bible. I received an additional copy of it in December of 2013. It's been a 30-year favorite of mine, and I thought I would do a review on it. I don't know how many years more it's going to remain in print, but it is a classic, and I want to give you an opportunity to get a chance to get a Bible at about $60 that is just, in my opinion, unique among study Bibles. Here's a picture of the cover page. Shows you what we got going on. Two classic scholars, May and Metzinger, Oxford University Press. And here's the page with the important copyright, etc. information. This one happens to be printed in Korea. My 30-year-old Bible was printed in America. I think the paper is slightly heavier on the older version. I'm going to skip the foreword to the RSV and the New Oxford Annotated Bible and go ahead and jump to Genesis if we can get there. There we go, we're on our way. Now this one I have not actually used. It's fresh out of the box. Here we go. The Oxford Annotated Bible is an early study Bible. That it has introductions, notes, cross-references, and some general articles as well as some beautiful maps, but it does not have a concordance, and the notes it has are less full than current study Bibles, and actually I find that to be a positive thing. Go to a typical page, perhaps. Here we go. I would call this a typical page. Generally, about 5/6 of each page is text, and 1/6 is notes and cross-references. And the thing I like about this is it's a 10-point text. It's verging on semi-bold, not quite semi-bold, but it's set up as a text Bible in the top portion, and then the notes are separated with a line on the bottom. So you can read this as a reader without having the intrusion of maps and articles and just a lot of clutter on the page. It is a simple layout that is very reader-friendly. Now the notes themselves are more explanatory than interpretive. And by that I mean, while there is some interpretive basis, and this is a Bible based on an earlier biblical critical model, the newer 4th edition is extremely interpretive, and the notes are long. Where this Bible is minimalistic. It gives some brief information, most of its background, or helping you to understand what's going on in the text. Once in a while it's interpretive, but less so. And the cross-references are fewer in number. They're usually the primary ones, the ones that are direct quotations, direct allusions, or a direct connection with another passage. It doesn't have 100,000 chain. It probably doesn't have 1/10 of that. But I've never found a problem with that. I've found that if you compare it with a reference Bible, the ones in the reference Bible that matter the most are the ones it has. And the ones it doesn't have are those of least importance. I'll show you the maps. It has the beautiful Oxford maps. Here we go. Great color, great detail, and it has an index in the back which acts as a road map. You want to find Abilene? Look up Abilene, and it'll show you which maps it's on and where to go to look. The physicality of this Bible. It is a black genuine leather. That means pigskin. And I would rate it in the top 10% of genuine leathers. It's not goat, it's not calf, it's not even good top grain cowhide, but it is a decent quality. And here's a picture of the spine. This edition has the Apocrypha. My earlier one did not. They don't offer this as an option anymore. Here's the liner. It's neat. It has an inexpensive gold gilting along the edges. The gilting is very nice. It has 2 honey gold ribbons and a nice headband and tailband. This would be a prime candidate for a rebind if you wanted to throw some goat skin on it or beautiful calf skin. It would make a beautiful Bible. It's a very tight Bible. It's a 9 by 6 by 2, almost 2. and I've just found it to be a nice size. Chubby, not large, very nice size. As I was saying, this is a nice skin. I used mine for 30 years until it was falling apart, and then I had it rebound on my older one from about early 80s. But this is, I bought this as a backup for that one. So there you have this. Again, an uncluttered text, nice useful notes, but minimal. Good cross-references, beautiful maps, some decent articles in the back. Introductions are short. It doesn't clutter the text with a lot of subheaders. So you don't get every little section with a little descriptive, and that can be steering in some ways. I'm not offended when I have a Bible that has it, but it is a clutter-free text. Spacing is good. This is a reader's Bible, and the New Oxford Annotated Bible, the 4th edition, is cluttered, smaller print, in a larger Bible in size. It just is not a reader's friendly Bible. It's more of a reference Bible for modern textual, biblical critical textual type studies. It has a place. The paper's thinner. Perhaps I'll do a review on that one, but it is not physically equal to this, nor is the layout as attractive to me. Now, some of you have probably, from an earlier generation, are familiar that the Revised Standard Version originally came out in the 50s. It was, moving into the mainstream 60s and 70s, and now it's been bypassed with multiple modern versions. But when it came out, there was only a couple modern versions which were on the margin, and it kind of broke through and became much more widely used than the American Standard Version and some of the other earlier ones. When it came out, King James was 90-something% of the usage in our country, maybe 98%. People, pastors, compared it to the reading of a King James, and of course, they found in some flaws from their perspective, and perhaps some real flaws, but they did that method, not going back to the original Greek or Hebrew. Some of those pastors lacked that skill, or if they had it, they had an axe to grind, one or the other. I'm going to show you the most famous one, and I'm not going to take the time to pull King James up just to tell you what it says, the difference. We have Isaiah 7:14. Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a young woman shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Here we have young woman. The King James has virgin. The English Standard Version today, which is a slight revision of the Revised Standard Version, goes back to a more conservative reading. It has virgin. So based on these kind of comparison of one English translation to another, they declared the Revised Standard Version was the Revised Slandered Version, and of Satan, which pretty much King James only people say of any version other than King James, destroyed the fundamental doctrines, etc. Revised Standard Version, people said this was a better translation in Isaiah, and that the use of the virgin in the New Testament was more precise, but they were trying to be more precise for Isaiah. So we had some cases where the choices were made, and the people who translated the RSV included what was called theological liberals, and they had some axes to grind. Also, they didn't particularly like miracles or believe in them in a more conservative Christian sense, and so it seemed that to most Christians that they were trying to remove fundamental doctrines, things that were miraculous like the virgin birth from the Bible, and that was their agenda. I like the Revised Standard Version because I started using it in seminary along with the New American Standard. I have now gone back to using the King James also on a daily basis. I like each one for a different reason. But when you use something for a long time, 30 years, you get to love it. So that's pretty much where I am. And this Bible I got on sale from Oxford recently for $31. I just had to get one and put it away. But it still can be obtained for about $60 regular price. The Apocrypha allows Roman Catholics and Orthodox Christians to use it, and therefore they would be able to use the common Bible, but it puts it at the end where people who don't use it or have very minimal interest in it would not be forced to use it. I'm going to pan the thing while we have a silent period here. Here we go. Here is the box. back again. Well, there isn't a lot more I have to say. I could point out the ESV is a 2001 slight translation update with some more theologically conservative choices. The Catholics have their own edition of the RSV they still use. It has come back to be widely used in other formats, not so much the 1971 version, but it's still widely used, and I think you could, if your pastor preaches out of the ESV, you could use an RSV, this Bible, and follow along. Well, I understand there was like 6% word changes. That's very, very minimal. The other thing I liked about it when I was young was it is word choices and word flow. At least 80% of the King James words and word flow are retained. And therefore, you can use it at a Bible study where both are being used. Well, that's the extent of my study. I'm going to see if this will upload an 11-minute video, and I hope you will consider it. It's a fine Bible, and you have a good day.